What's up, guys? I'm Mike D'Antonio, founder and CEO of StockedUp, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have an amazing episode for you guys here today. There was a lot of action in the stock market today, especially with the tech sector. We had Microsoft and Tesla hit new highs, along with Amazon and a couple other stocks, including Apple. So we did have some movement today in the market, but most of those stocks actually closed red. So we might be seeing a reversal sometime soon. Stick around to the end of the video to get a full analysis on all of those stocks. But we do have a lot of important information to share with you guys, like how Walmart is up close to 7% today on their they're adding a new aspect to their business, which is obviously going to benefit them a lot. That's why their stock price jumped up so much. But overall, we have a lot of great news. We have a lot of important stuff to share with you guys today. If you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe to see our daily videos on your YouTube homepage every single day. So with that being said, Tom, fill us in on Walmart.
Yeah, Walmart had an amazing day. They announced a $98 a year subscription service that's going to be very similar to Amazon Prime, where subscribers will get one-day grocery and item delivery with other perks. And this is really great for Walmart, as it's going to add a nice thing of cash flow for them without them having to sacrifice much as a business. And really, it's $100 a year. And I think a lot of people are going to get into it because a ton of people use Walmart. And a lot of people have been doing that stuff where they pick up groceries and stuff like that now. So with one-day delivery, that'll be very nice for them, as well as item delivery. I mean, that's really a nice thing for Walmart. It's really not going to cost them anything to do this. They're just going to have to ship it out a little bit quicker. That's it. It's not really going to cost them too much, though, as far as in the business sense. And I really think that's why their stock shot up 7% today. I really love this green candle. And you can see the last time they had green candles like this, they had nice continuations for like a couple days after. So I would definitely watch out for that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Walmart can be a huge continuation play, kind of like Tesla. However, they did have a huge jump today, and they are a value stock. So I would not be surprised at the same time if we saw some major resistance levels and then a continuation up. Overall, though, this totally changes the game for Walmart, and I think it gives them a huge competitive edge. So, for example, a couple years ago, and even I would say even a couple months ago, everyone was kind of scared about how Amazon is emerging as the top online retailer, right? Everyone knows that Amazon's the top dog when it comes to online retail, right? And people were worrying about stocks like Walmart, Target, and other retail stocks like brick and mortar retail companies. They were worrying about them for the long term. But Walmart has clearly proven that they're not going down without a fight. And I think this subscription service is really going to give them an edge with Amazon. Just going to give them, like you said, another stream of income, but also it'll definitely attract more people to their online retail side of their business. And if you look at it, I think they strategically priced their subscription service at $98 a year, which is slightly cheaper than Amazon Prime. So Amazon Prime is like around $120 a year. So I think they definitely strategically price it just a little bit lower than Amazon's price, But overall, I think this is great for Walmart for the long term. And I think this is, overall, I think it's great for the company long term. And I definitely think that we can see a continuation play with Walmart. Like I said, we might have some resistance ahead in the short-term future. Like I saw, like Tom, if you go to March 2nd, there was a huge green candle on Walmart, but then we saw a red day the next day, and then a continuation upwards a couple days after that. So I would not be surprised if we saw a little bit of a resistance point ahead and then continuation upwards. But overall, like I said, great for Walmart for the long term. And then what happened with Novavax?
Yeah, NVAX, they surged 34% after getting a $1.6 billion COVID-19 vaccine grant. And really, this is just a part of the race to curb the coronavirus. And there's a whole bunch of companies involved here, like Moderna, Oxford University, and a whole bunch of other companies. Obviously, we have mRNA, which had a very nice chart a few months ago. Looks like they've kind of fallen off over the past few months, but they are green the past couple days. But with that being said, NVAX, their chart is very strong, and they never really fell back the way that Moderna fell back. Moderna kind of fell back like about 30-40%, I believe. We have NVAX here with really just small consolidations and just stair steps upwards, and they shot up 30% today. This is an insane rise. What were they? $3.65 in January. So let's see the percentage. Let's see, I think it's like a 2,500 percent rise up, which is huge. Let's see, 2,500%. Yeah, right around 2,500%. That's a huge gap up within 1 year, guys. Even within just about 6 months, 2,500%. But it is a very good candidate for the COVID-19 vaccine. This company, I mean, maybe there's some insider information on this company that people know that they're really far along with the vaccine. But the thing is that the company really has gapped up very nicely. But the thing is that how much can this continue up? I would think they'd have to find a vaccine to continue the strength like this upwards.
Yeah, I mean, when we're talking about a move from $3 all the way to highs of $111 in less than a year. So this is not a pump and dump. It sounds like a great company. But the thing is I don't know how much more it can continue up. You know what I mean? Like, we already saw a huge rise upwards. I definitely would not bet against it, considering they are heavily influenced by the news. But at the same time, personally, I wouldn't buy calls on it because I feel like they're just up so much. And we are in a market where it's like crazy continuation plays, and it's all about momentum, like Tesla, Spotify, Amazon. Like, once you're hot, once your stock is hot, it seems like it just continues. You look at Workhorse, you look at NIO, you look at INO. You know, we're in these crazy continuation play type markets where I wouldn't be surprised if we did see a continuation up on NVAX, you know. But at the same time, I think they're too much. I think they're up too much where I would not risk my money doing a play on NVAX. Unless, like I said, unless some crazy news happens that can change the game, then I would not play it. So, yeah. So now, guys, I wanted to explain something real quick with the stock called TLT. So technically, they're an ETF, and what they track is 20-year bonds. So typically what happens with the market and the economy overall, when the stock market gets scary and investors are scared, typically they sell their stocks and buy bonds. And when you buy bonds, bonds actually go down instead of up. So for example, like with a stock, if you buy a stock and a bunch of people buy the stock goes up. However, with bonds, if a bunch of people buy bonds, the bond actually falls. And think about it like this. Let's say you're the government, right? And let's say you have a 20-year bond and you're offering a 1.5% return, right? And if everyone starts to buy them, you're not going to raise your rate higher. So like if you have a bunch of people willing to buy your bond, you're not going to say, oh, now I'm going to give everyone a 1.75% return. No, that's not how it works. With bonds, if you have a rate at 1.5% and everyone starts to buy, the government actually, then the price just lowers. So it goes from like 1.5% to like 1.25%. And if even more people buy, then it goes down to 1%, and the bond rate actually goes lower. So basically what's happening now is, I'm sure a lot of you guys already know this, but rates right now are very low. The interest rate right now is in the 0 to 0.25% range for the feds. So rates are very low and they can't really go too much lower. So with that being said, TLT, this ETF, rises when rates fall. And typically what happens is rates fall when investors are scared. So basically what I'm saying right now is TLT had a pretty big update today. And you normally don't see huge updates on TLT. It's a very slow moving ETF. It's supposed to be very safe, and it's very slow moving. So by seeing this big green update, that tells me that a lot of investors are buying bonds. And you have to ask yourself, why is everyone buying bonds? And it's because investors are scared of the stock market right now, and they might see a potential dip. So basically, you look at bonds. Tom, the ticker symbol is /ZN. That's for the 10-year bond. ZN. So basically, we did see a nice rise on ZN today. And basically, guys, all I'm saying with this whole little rant here is, look at, people are buying bonds. Typically, a lot of the smart money traders typically trade bonds, and it really does take a lot for bonds to move. And we are seeing bonds move a little bit. So basically, that's telling me that investors are a little bit frightened in the stock market right now, and they are buying bonds to protect themselves. So that might mean we might see a small bearish dip here in the future, okay? Just consider that, and that's strictly off bonds. Keep that in mind. It does take a lot to move the bond market, and we did see a pretty decent move today. So keep that in mind. The stock market did fall a little bit today. The Dow fell about 400 points, which was pretty big. We just had tech hold the market up mainly. So keep that in mind. And I would definitely check out the ETF called TLT. So now with the momentum plays for tomorrow. And before we get into these momentum plays, I want to give a quick little shout out to our Discord member of the day. So every day, Tom and I give a nice shout out to a member who really stood out that day, who is spreading positivity and just good vibes, right? So today's Discord member of the day is Nazir. So Nazir, I've been watching him just in the community for the past couple of days. Extremely positive person. He has a lot of great things to share. Overall, great member of the community, and I'm very happy to have Nazir in the community. So huge shout out to Nazir. If you guys want to join the Discord server, you can click the first link in the description down below. We have over 5,000 people in there talking stocks, options, and finance every single day. It's completely free to join, so consider joining. So huge shout out again. And now for the momentum plays for tomorrow. And I'm sure all you guys already know the first play, which is Walmart. So Walmart had a huge day today, had great news, great catalyst, and they are really exploding upwards. So Tom, what levels should we be watching for Walmart?
Watch for 128.50.
So 128.50. If we see a break above $128.50, we will be looking at Walmart in a bullish sense, meaning buying calls or buying stock. With the next stock, we have LVS, and this stock is to the downside.
Yep,
So
watch for them to go ahead and break 44.50.
44.50 again to the downside, so that would be puts or shorting the stock. Next stock is Lyft, LYFT, again to the downside.
Yeah, this one's really down. Watch for them to go ahead and fall below 30.75.
I wanted to grab puts on Lyft today. I didn't, but it does look like a pretty good short setup. What do you think? Like for a swing trade?
Yeah, especially on a daily chart too. It really looks like I even drew like a nice little ribbon here. It's really kind of traded out of this, and it looks like it's going to start falling down. Watch for this support that it's at right now. If it starts going down tomorrow again, I'll definitely be watching this as a day trade.
Okay, awesome. And then next stock, we have SHAK.
SHAK.
Yep, and this is to the downside again.
Yep, and watch for them to go ahead and break 49.75.
49.75. So you guys heard Tom again to the downside. This doesn't look like too bad of a swing trade to the downside either. You know,
yeah, it looks like they really had this pre-market drop in the morning, and then they came all the way back down throughout the day, and it looks like they're breaking right below it right now. It looks really decent.
Yeah, I mean, SHAK puts might look pretty good right now. I haven't analyzed them too much, but based off their chart, it looks like a pretty solid play. So now with the unusual options activity for tomorrow, and guys, yesterday's unusual options activity spiked by over 100%. It was the NKLA 40 strike puts. NKLA fell over 17% today. So that was an amazing alert. So now with the unusual options activity for tomorrow, we are looking at Walmart, and we are looking at the Walmart 130 strike calls that expire this Friday, July 10th. There was a total of about $4.6 million put into this play. Guys, huge warning. We might see some overhead resistance on Walmart tomorrow, but we could also at the same time, Walmart is very volatile right now, and it's very unusual to see a stock like Walmart being a value stock up this much. So I think Walmart has so much upside potential, but I'm just saying for tomorrow specifically, I would not be surprised if we had a lot of resistance and maybe like a doji day, something like that. Walmart, I love them for the long term right now. I think the news that came out today is going to be amazing for the long term. Looks like a great upside potential play. But I'm just saying tomorrow, I would not be surprised if we had a small pullback. Okay. So now with the questions from the previous episode. So with the first question, we have Gennaro saying Square is the next Tesla. So let's take a look. SQ. SQ is definitely doing amazing. I have heard a lot of great things about Square fundamentally. Obviously, their chart shows the same thing. I day traded Square twice this week, as I'm sure a lot of you guys know who are in the Discord. Both of them were huge winners. I definitely would not bet against Square right now. It looks like they're doing amazing. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, they're doing really good. The one thing is though is that I would not say that they're the next Tesla though, just because all the Square is they're just like a little chip that you put your like your credit card in, and then you can like swipe it on your phone, and then they also have it for like the iPad. I mean that's very good, but I don't think this is any next Tesla or anything, but definitely it has a lot of momentum to the upside, and over the past 5 years, it has a ton of momentum to the upside. I mean, you're talking like over maybe 1,000% here. Yeah, over 1,000% on this, and that's very good for a tech stock. Again, 1,400%, really good overall for the long term. But the thing is that I don't think they're definitely not the next Tesla though, Mike.
Well, here's the thing. I do know that they do have more aspects of their business other than like those like card reader things. Like I know they obviously
Yeah,
handle a lot with like the payment transactions and like
yeah,
I do know they have acquired some other types of businesses, but I do agree with you. I don't think they're the next Tesla in the sense where they're just, kind of like disrupting an industry, like Tesla is kind of like a beast of its own. With that being said, though, I do like Square as a company, but I don't think they're the next Tesla either.
yeah. And it's really cool seeing them up with a lot of people not using as much cash anymore. I'm sure that has a big effect on Square going up as well.
Oh, absolutely. That benefits them so much. And then with the next question, we have Verizon saying any plays on Roku or Lyft. So we already covered Lyft. We like it to the downside, but how about Roku? What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, Roku. I think they'll be very good for the long term. They have a lot of deals with different TV companies, and they obviously have those little like streaming boxes and stuff that they sell people. I believe they have some type of subscription as well, and that's a good company. I think overall for the long term. I don't think that they're gonna pop up like Spotify or like anybody like that, but I think it's still a good company. And you can see I do have some technicals drawn on Roku right now, and if they do end up breaking above this solid resistance or trend line right here, I would definitely get some shares or some calls on this to the upside.
Yeah, so what about a short-term play too?
Yeah, for the short term, it kind of looks like they had a doji today to the downside. It's going to be really, I'm kind of neutral on it right now. It looks like they're starting to go flat. They were up for the last few days, so you can kind of expect a little bit of a pullback here. They might be down in pre-market tomorrow and then pop during the day. Really, you're going to have to look at what it does at open tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. So we have Peter saying, hey, Mike and Tom, question from your video. You were talking about strangles and straddles during earnings season. Is it possible to sell a strangle or straddle rather than buying it? So yes, that is definitely possible. However, it requires a lot of collateral. So it depends on the stock. If you're trading a very low price stock, it'll be, I don't know, like it really depends on the stock, but it requires a lot of collateral. There's a lot of risk for the broker to allow you to do that. So it's definitely possible. Amazing strategy. However, you need a lot of money to do that. Typically, you need a minimum of about, I would say like about $125,000 because you need like a special margin account to do that. But like I said, it depends on the stock. Great strategy, but you need a lot of capital to do that. Amazing question. All right, so with the next question we have Ricky saying, what are your thoughts on NKLA? I missed out on the initial spike, so I've been waiting. When would be a great time to go all in on them? So there is a lot of bad news going on with NKLA right now. I know there's a lot of shady things going on. They're offering more shares. I know there's a lot of shady things going on right now. Before I even answer the question about the analysis, I would never go all in on any stock, especially a highly speculative stock like NKLA. This stock is one, highly speculative, but also two, they do have a lot of shady things going on right now. I would not look at them in a bullish sense anytime in the near future. If anything, I would look at puts on them. Like I said, they are offering more shares, and I know there are a lot of shady things going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, and guys, just let this be a testament that whatever flies up, 1,000% really quickly will end up coming back down eventually.
Yeah, for sure. And I remember it was what, like a month ago or something like that when NKLA exploded, right? And everyone said this is going to be the next, like the NKLA is the future. All this hype is coming out, and people were buying like 200 strike calls, even though the stock was only at $73. Like, obviously, people are just speculating on it a lot. That's my point. It was highly speculative, and I don't want to call it a pump and dump, but it's pretty similar in my eyes. Okay, with the next question, we have Soli saying, can you analyze JD, please? Thank you. So JD, Tom, I'll let you take this one.
Yeah, JD, they are a Chinese stock, it looks like.
Yeah.
Is this Chinese? I believe it is Chinese.
Yep.
This is a stock I would definitely be careful with. They are up though right now, which is a good thing for them. I don't know too much about them fundamentally or what they do, but the thing I have been hearing is that Chinese stocks could get delisted off the U.S. market, and right now they're even talking about banning that app called TikTok, which is another Chinese app that apparently has been like stealing information from people. So that could be another big aspect really with all these Chinese stocks, is that how long are they going to be on the U.S. market for? Because a lot of them aren't going to be allowed anymore. Especially, we heard a lot of bad stuff about that with Huawei a while ago, that phone company out of China as well. They were doing some type of shady stuff, and really all these Chinese stocks are under speculation just because of that.
Well, and then also keep in mind LK.
Yeah, LK.
LK took a beating. If you want to pull up a chart on that, I believe JD is a lot more respected than LK was. But I think the main point here is with these Chinese stocks historically, some of them have been fraudulent, and then like Tom said, with the news of the possible delisting from U.S. exchanges, obviously that would not help JD. Either way, though, they seem like they are on a slow and steady uptrend.
They are actually an e-commerce company, kind of similar to like Amazon or like Alibaba.
Yeah. So I do know that obviously, the based off their sector, that is one reason why they are rising right now. E-commerce is exploding right now, especially with the virus. So for the long term, it seems okay, but please keep in mind the risks of it being a Chinese company. Like I said, there could be nothing wrong with it, but you do have to look in the past and look what happened with LK and what the U.S. Might be doing to delist their stock. We have Nazir saying, Mike and Tom, what's the easiest way to get filled on spreads? Thanks. So spreads are typically a little bit harder to fill on because you have to fill 2 to 4 different options all at the same time. So really, my best advice is to leave your order in there for a little bit longer than you normally would have. That would be the first tip. And then also the second tip is you could always lower your price to have a higher chance of getting filled. Those are really the only two options. There's not really too much you can do besides either lowering your price or waiting or just using a better broker. But any premium brokerages will pretty much give you the same fill speed. I wouldn't use Robinhood. I know it does take a little bit longer, but those are really the only things you can do. So amazing question. With the next question, we have Adam saying, great analysis, guys. You got yourself a new sub. So thank you so much for that amazing comment, Adam. Speaking of which, if you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe to see our daily videos on your YouTube homepage every single day. with the last question we have. Sam saying, love the content. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. What do you think about DocuSign and Roku? So we already shared our thoughts on Roku. Mainly you have to wait for the morning. But what about DocuSign? DOCU, Tom?
Yeah, I don't know about them fundamentally either, but really this is a huge explosion from them as well. $35 in 2019 all the way up to $202. That's a big explosion. I suspect they're definitely doing something online as well. I really like this. The thing is though is that with this one, it looks like they've exploded so much that, whenever these stocks go up this much, I'm just very wary to put a lot of money into them for the long term. But if we're just talking for a short-term sense, I really do like them to the upside. If they go ahead and break 202 tomorrow, they have been steadily climbing, and it looks like they could definitely continue up.
Absolutely. So with that being said, do you have any last minute stocks, options, or any insight for tomorrow?
Yep, the last thing I wanted to talk about, guys, was GLD, which is gold. Gold has been steadily climbing, and it's at a pretty good high right now. GLD stock is, anyways. I really like this at 169.04. It's been steadily climbing, kind of like TLT has with bonds. Just like whenever people are buying bonds, people like to buy gold as well. So definitely watch GLD to break their highs tomorrow as well.
Absolutely. So thank you guys so much for watching this video to the end. If you guys have any questions or anything, let us know in the comments down below. If you guys want to trade the exact same options that Tom and I trade every single day, you can click the Stocked Up Options Alerts link in the description down below. The market is getting pretty exciting right now. Futures are up about 44 points. So I think we're in for another exciting day in the market tomorrow. Walmart had a huge day, and I think we are definitely in for a very impactful day in the market tomorrow. So like I said, guys, if you have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. Other than that, thanks for watching.